No pun intended here, but we kick off today's program with Africa's biggest football tournament that starts in just a few hours from now. Now, the first game of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations will see the Pharaohs of Egypt, who, by the way, are the most successful team in AFCON history, play my beloved Zimbabwe. Now, Egypt is host this year, but that wasn't the initial plan. Cameroon had their hosting rights withdrawn in January after they failed to meet infrastructure requirements at match venues. Now, the 32nd installment of AFCON will be the biggest yet. It includes 3 countries that have never made the cut. That would be Burundi, Mauritania, and Madagascar. All right, so the first game pits Zimbabwe with Egypt. Right. How do you think that's going to go?
I think, I hate to do it to you. I think it'll be a landslide victory for Egypt. You mentioned already they're the record champions. They're hosting. Extra motivation. I mean, they have their talisman, their Masonic figure in Mo Salah, and they didn't lose any of the qualifying matches. A very good professional league as well. Now, Zimbabwe, in their group, they've done well against the other teams, Uganda and DR Congo. But I do think they'll have to punch above their weight.
If you have all these legends like Mo Salah on the continent who go on to play in European leagues and add value to the teams, why is it that when African teams are playing in the World Cup, for example, we somehow don't match up to the others?
Well, I think it really comes down to money invested in infrastructure. You could look at Germany, for example, they've invested over €1 billion in their youth infrastructure. Big countries, the most populated country, Nigeria, I'll use that as a comparison because I did spend time there. Yeah. Their infrastructure is basically barren. It runs dry. And their national team is basically composed of players that are talented enough to play abroad and hone their skills and so forth. Not a lot of money is put forward into, the infrastructure and specifically the domestic league within Nigeria. I caught up with a Super Eagle legend, JJ Okocha, and he touched on the issues that basically are keeping, the football situation a step behind in the country.
When it comes to the local league, I think we still have a long way to go because one of the issues is that most of the clubs belongs to government.
Right.
So people running the clubs are not really ambitious enough, so they rely on the budget that they get every year from the government.